My BF and I have been together almost 1.5 years. This is the best relationship I've ever been in. He's a great person and we have no issues, except for his brother's fiancée. When I first met her, I really wanted for us to be great friends, but that hasn't been the case. Literally the first time I met her, she was wearing a romper, came out of the bathroom, specifically went to my BF to zip her up, butt to neck. I thought it was odd but we'd just met so I didn't trip on it. Before I'd met her, he described her as his relationship advisor and that he told her about me and how excited he was about our relationship. But each time I've seen her, almost weekly in the 1.5 years, she's made me uncomfortable. She'll pull him away to talk one-on-one. She touches him regularly, has little inside jokes so I just sit there like an idiot, makes silly voices to him, makes weird double entendres jokes to him. Sometimes she'll be super nice to me and sometimes she just straight ignores me. I never know which version I'll get, so I always act super friendly, but it's exhausting. One of the last times I saw her, she was being friendly, but did take the opportunity to say, you know, before you and 20 started dating, we talked every day about all kinds of things. We were best friends. Now we don't talk as much anymore. In the beginning, he seemed oblivious to how inappropriate she acts towards him. I've pointed it out several times and gotten to the point where I told him if he doesn't shut down her weird touching, I'm either walking away or leaving because I'm uncomfortable. Issues with her have literally been our only relationship drama the entire time. We have never fought about anything else. Since making him aware, a lot of times when she starts touching him randomly or trying to pull him away, he'll resist, go somewhere else, whatever the case may be. But we seem to have an argument after each time we see each other. Yesterday, she and the brother received an invite from a mutual friend to see some live music. She was mostly fine, friendly etc. but she chose the seat beside him, so I had to sit a couple friends away from him, and was wiping his face, touching his face where he missed a spot shaving, weird stuff like that. At one point I just walked away and chatted with mutual friends. After we left, I expressed to my BF that I feel I can't talk to him about my concerns with her because he gets so frustrated and says she's always been that way, they've known each other for 5 years, she'll be his sister soon, whatever. He's doing his best to keep her in check but she does seem to come out of nowhere with her touching, and her snide comments to me that maybe only another woman could understand the rudeness behind. It turned into a loud fight, the likes of which we've never had. He's super apologetic today, he made a hurtful comment in the heat of the moment and I'm sure I did too out of pure frustration with this situation, though I don't like her, knowing that we'll both, hopefully, be part of the family soon. I know we need to sort out these issues. How do we go about doing this? I've thought about going out for drinks with her and explaining my situation so she can't play dumb to how she makes me uncomfortable. He thinks he should talk to her solo, but that feels like I can't handle my own issues and would create more weirdness between the two of us. I absolutely love and want to marry him and really want this to resolve so our relationship can continue to flourish. ETA, my last relationship before this one was awful, cheated on, verbal and physically abused. I'm incredibly grateful to have the good man I have now. It took me a lot of work to get to where I am emotionally, to be able to trust, control my anger and arguments etc. just because of the last one that was so awful and changed my personality. I don't want to see bits of the old me anymore, but I see little bits when we argue about her and I hate that. Update 1. My BF's, maybe, soon-to-be sister-in-law has always exhibited inappropriate behavior towards him, super touchy, possessive, raunchy jokes, tries to shut me out. My BF sent her a text saying it made him uncomfortable, requesting she reel it in, and hoping they can continue to have a good relationship. His brother, 30M, got involved, screamed at my BF, said hurtful things, very dramatic. That was it for a week. Now for the updated craziness. Friday evening I went to a female family gathering. Future Sil was there. She avoided me the entire time. I want nothing more than to get past this and move on, but was sort of following her lead and left her alone. She texted asking if we could talk. I said sure. She said my BF told his brother I wrote the text, he never said that. She clearly didn't believe me and kept trying to find ways to prove that I wrote it. That I said no more family gatherings and we don't want to go to their wedding because I hate her. That I'll hate any future child they have because it came out of her. I was absolutely shocked because I never said any of this, and I know my BF never said any of these things either. So his brother is making up these cruel lies for some unknown reason? She said how awful their family is and all she wanted was to make me feel included and now I've stabbed her in the back. She demanded an apology. I refused and told her to have a good night and left. Sunday, we go to the parents' house for dinner. All of us were there. Things were fairly standoffish. At one point I was inside with Future Sil and the dad, making light small talk. Their mom grabs me and Future Sil to speak in a back room. She's a few drinks in, gets all teary-eyed that her boys are in turmoil. Basically saying I'm the root of all the issues so I need to get over it because she's not having her family tour, and apart. My BF loves both of us equally, and I need to deal with that because they've known each other, 5 years, far longer than we've been together, 1.5 years. I can't come in and try to dissolve all female relationships in his life. She left and Future Sil and I were talking calmly and I was expressing there clearly was miscommunication between the boys that seems to be ramping this up. She agreed. Then we hear screaming from the living room, glass breaking, so we go out there and that's when all the real drama started. The brother kept pointing at me with like a legit murderous look in his eyes, calling me a manipulative bee and a psychotic bully, all kinds of things. It was a screaming match, everyone telling each other to fuck off, and his mom is like, well, you started all of this and now you have nothing to say? Defend yourself. His brother is like, she's playing a game. She manipulated my brother away from the family, so she's sitting there all pleased with herself, the fing dumb bee. The mom was trying and failing to moderate this because the brother kept screaming. He was telling her to go F herself, saying any awful thing he could think of about me. He came incredibly close to my face. I'd if he wanted to hit me or intimidate me. My BF pushed him away and yelled at him. The brother kept making these moves like he was going to run at me. Future Sil kept holding him back or telling him to take a walk. He was furious. Their mom kept saying I need to grow up and deal with my insecurities, kept saying that over and over. At one point I asked her to stop calling me insecure and she said it was the first time I defended myself, and now she respects me a little bit because I stood up for myself. This went on for 2 hours, and because I don't deal with issues by screaming and name calling, I was frozen. My BF was saying a lot to try to defend me, that they were his concerns and didn't come out of thin air, which riled everyone up more. It was absolute chaotic ma-ness that I've never been a part of before. At the end, their mom tried to laugh off the entire thing. I was in total shock because I've tried so hard to be kind and respectful to the fam and always had a great relationship, especially with their mom, so I was taken aback. My BF spoke to his mom the next day, cancelled all future plans with the fam, saying I was attacked. It was uncalled for. He was furious. His brother has legit issues and the mom makes excuse after excuse for his absolutely terrifying behavior. I seriously don't feel comfortable even being near his brother again. He sounds so close to really losing it, and I'm actually concerned for my safety at this point. I thank God my BF has the complete opposite personality. But I have no clue how to move forward from this. As much as I'd never want to see the brother again, I know that's not possible. I'd be willing to speak to him if he could act more normal and calm, but I don't even know if he's capable of that. Help. I really appreciate your response, thank you. This whole thing is insane, for sure. The very first time I met Future Sil, I'd already hung out with parents and brother a couple times. She pulled me aside to give her assessment of the fam. She said the parents hated her from the beginning. They're a prominent land-owning family in our city with name recognition. I was relatively new to the city, so I had no clue except connecting the dots based on their last name being the same as a few streets. Sil was called a gold digger, which after I've gotten to know her, I agree with. She said they hated her for her many tattoos, for being a bit overweight, etc. I was shocked to hear all this because the mom especially had welcomed me with such open arms. I took what she said with a grain of salt, but that first day she went to my boyfriend to zip up her dress after getting out of the bathroom and felt a bit sour about that. Part of me thinks she was surprised the mom sided with her on this, as mom and rest of the fam have made it fairly apparent to everyone that they prefer me to her. And when she realized she had her back, she figured she could say anything and it'd be believed. I had seen the brother have these blowouts with his mom, and they seemed to get over it immediately. I'd just never been the target before. I can't even put into words well enough to describe the look in the brother's eyes when he was trying to come at me. The best I can describe is I was an EMT for 6 years, and one time we picked up a man, later came to find he had killed a family of 3, he looked at me the same, and then we snowed him with psych drugs and strapped him to the gurney with armed police right next to us. I think if the family didn't have the money and connections they do, brother would be in jail or dead from coming at the wrong person. In Mother's Day, birthday cards, etc. I'd always written essays of gratitude to the mom for welcoming me to the family, teaching me how to cook grandma's recipes, all the gifts. Due to various reasons, illness with my family, them living out of state, etc., I spent nearly every holiday for the past 18 months with the family, so when the mom dropped off a B-Day card for me last week that said we hope to make better memories in the future and that's it. It was a kick in the stomach. On top of everything, my beloved grandmother passed yesterday, so I'm dealing with all of those emotions on top of everything else. I certainly will no longer be missing out on quality time with my family to be with these nuts going forward. My BF is still furious with the family, but he's not the type to go NC with his parents, regardless of how angry he is. His brother has already threatened to cut ties, which honestly is fine with me. My BF has acknowledged that he wouldn't blame me for running for the hills after all this, but has assured me he supports any decision I make 100% and whatever that means for the relationship with his immediate family. I am just super overwhelmed with all of this right now and not in the best mental space to make drastic decisions. Phew. It's been a lot. Another crazy thing, based on your second sentence, is no one sees them as valid concerns but just my immaturity. Sil had an excuse for every time she overstepped. I only asked him to zip up my dress because brother was drunk and I didn't want my skin pinched. I only sat on his lap because there was nowhere else to sit. I only cupped his face and pulled out a stray beard hair because I'm a men's barber and that's my job. And the mom was like, totally reasonable. Crazy. Thank you. That's how I feel too. There are sibling relationships and romantic and the line should not blur. The fact that everyone is blind to it and making me feel like I'm crazy is unsettling. Unfortunate timing, today is my B-Day. His mom dropped off a card and present for me. No interest in the present, almost feels like an attempt to buy me off so to speak, but I opened the card out of curiosity. We hope to have better memories with you in the future. This is after spending nearly every weekend and holiday at their home, missing out on time with my own family, doing my best to forge the best relationship possible I can with his parents. Now second story. Cousin's fiancé demands I wear contacts instead of glasses for the wedding, threatens to kick me out if I don't comply. I want to tell my cousin. 19F, cousin, 23F, is getting married in a couple of weeks. I am my cousin's Mo in her wedding. We have grown up together and have been through hell and back together. She is like a big sister I have never had. When I was in 3rd grade I started wearing glasses because I couldn't see far. She was the first person to tell me I looked beautiful in them, because I was insecure about how I looked in them, and that we can match because she wears glasses as well. Well, fast forward to today. I went over to my cousin's and her soon-be wife, 25F, house to LK about last-minute preparation of the wedding and all the fun stuff. When we started talking about pictures of the wedding, and this is where Jordan, my cousin's fiancé, told me that I should take off my glasses for the wedding and wear contacts because she doesn't want them to ruin her wedding photos and that I would look like an outcast. All of attention would be drawn to me if I'm the only one wearing glasses. To say I was shocked was understatement. I always been used to my glasses and I never took them off. I personally don't want to use contacts because it's so much work and I am a forgetful person and might end up sleeping with them on or something like that. I told Jordan that I wouldn't be comfortable with it and that contacts cost money since I have to get them in my prescription, which would take a while, as well as I much rather wear my glasses because I'm more comfortable with them on. She told me I'm being unreasonable and that my cousin is wearing contacts for the wedding, so I should be a good cousin and not ruin the wedding pictures. If not, she will tell my cousin to remove me from the wedding and I can attend as a guest. My heart kinda broke when she said that to me. I know my cousin wouldn't care if I wore my glass, so I'm here asking strangers for advice. Would I be the asshole if I don't wear contacts for my cousin wedding? And should I tell my cousin about this conversation with Jordan? BTW, my cousin wasn't in the room when this conversation happened. She went to buy some food for us. Please help me out, thank you. Smile edit. Hello everyone. I didn't think this post would get as much attention, but I wanted to clear some things up in this one. This seems to be the biggest as I read the comments. Yes, it's for the wedding pictures. I told Jordan, as many of you mentioned, I can just simply take them off for the photos. Sorry for not stating that in the post earlier, but she told me no, that I need to buy and wear contacts or else she would tell me cousin to drop me. She said it would throw everything off if people see me without glasses in the photos and then they see me with them on in the wedding, and it wouldn't look natural too. Some people think it's my cousin telling me this. It's not. She wasn't present when this conversation happened. My cousin also wears glasses and the only reason she's not wearing them in her wedding is because Jordan convinced her to buy contacts so she can look more natural for the wedding. 3. This last one, guys, I'm not trying to ruin my cousin relationship. Before this, Jordan was nice with me and my cousin seems deeply in love with her. I could never imagine doing that to my own cousin. Ever since the day when my cousin asked me to be her Mo, that's when things started to become a little different between me and Jordan, but I always thought it's because the stress of planning a wedding takes a toll on you. Update 1. So on Saturday my cousin called me saying she wanted to talk to me about something. I figured that would be a good time to tell her everything that went down with Jordan, so we met at a park next to our grandparents' house, and when I got there she was already waiting for me, but the vibe and energy seemed off. It was tense. I sat down in front of her. No one said a word for like 30 seconds, but it felt like forever. Then my cousin finally spoke with tears running down her face, asking me why I wanted to drop out of the wedding and no longer be her Mo. I was completely taken back by what she just told me. I never once said I would drop out of the wedding nor say I no longer wanted to be her Mo. As I was processing, she kept asking me questions of, do I not love her? What did she do? Why do I not want to be in the wedding? Why did I miss all of the wedding events her and Jordan planned? Do I no longer value the relationship we have and the stuff we went through? After 5 minutes of calming her down, I explained that I never once said that I'm dropping out of the wedding and that I do love her and value everything we went through. So to explain how close we are, with permission, I want to give you some examples. My cousin was the first person who helped me recover and move on from my toxic/abusive ex I was with for 3 years. She never once left my side, and I was the one who found my cousin after she tried to overdose. I spent every day in that hospital until she got better and was with her through her treatments and therapy sessions. As I was explaining all that to her, I started crying because why would she think that after everything we've been through? And she told me that Jordan was the one who told her. I said I no longer wanted to be in the wedding, and at all the events they had I always said I was busy. I looked at her confused. Cause what events is she talking about? My cousin saw my face and started to realize I did not know what she was talking about. She started talking about a barbecue and a weekend trip to Arizona. The whole wedding party went one last month. I told my cousin I didn't know anything about this and I never got invited to it. I thought Jordan invited you? I never once got an invite or message about any of this. I proceed to show my cousin my message with Jordan in the group chat of the wedding party, and nothing was there about the trip or dropping out of the wedding. My cousin was shocked and started asking more questions like, you didn't tell Jordan you wanted out of the wedding? When was the last time you talked to her? Why didn't you get invited? I explained to my cousin the last time I'd spoken to Jordan is when she told me about the contacts. I explained everything to her about how Jordan said if I don't put contacts she will tell her to kick me out of the wedding, As I stated in my original post, I even showed my cousin the post and she was livid. She started going on and on about how Jordan would stop bothering her about getting contacts for the wedding, and when my cousin would ask her why, Jordan would say it won't match the tie see to the wedding and would throw everything off. So finally, after weeks and weeks, she broke and got contacts for the wedding. My cousin looked at me and said, I could care fucking less if you wear glasses, it's a part of you. Hell, I would think you look weird and fucking unnatural if don't, dude. And the fact she said that to you, out of all people, I'm not gonna stand for that. So after talking about an hour, she left and I just sat there shocked after everything was said and done. Later that day around 12 a.m. I received a call from Jordan. At first I was confused because she doesn't call me, but I picked up thinking something happened, but nope, it was her crying and screaming at me because I'm ruining her wedding and I'm being a selfish little bitch. After a minute of that I just hung up. Then 5 minutes later got a text from my cousin to go over their house now. Once I got to house, it was a mess, stuff thrown on the floor, painting broken, dog toys all over the floor, glass everywhere. It looked like a tornado and an earthquake double teamed the house. But anyways, I walked into where my cousin and Jordan are sitting, and Jordan and just crying and screaming. Once she saw me, she started yelling at me and calling me every name in the book. My cousin had to tell Jordan to shut the fuck up, and once she did, everything came out in the open. Basically, Jordan doesn't like me and hates that me and my cousin are so close. She's been telling lies to my cousin about me to get her to hate me, as well as try to take my cousin from the family so she can have her to herself. To which Jordan yelled out, how the fuck am I supposed to know you don't like her or fuck her? No cousins are that close. To which my cousin said, this ain't fucking Alabama, you crazy bitch. She my cousin, we grew up together, you fucking idiot. She was there when I was dying. Where the fuck was you? Just because you have a fucked family doesn't mean we do. After that the night was blur. I was extremely tired and just wanted to go home. My kusi and came with me, and she'd been staying since that night. Jordan had been blowing up my and her phone asking for forgiveness and to give her a second chance and wants to make things right, but I told my cousin if she wants to go through with the wedding, it's up to her. Cousin, I know she loves her. They've been together for 4 years now, so I know it can be hard leaving someone you gave your heart to. I'm so sorry for the long update, but that's what's been happening. Thank you to everyone who gave me advice and helped me realize that I wasn't being dramatic or overthinking, and it was more of a deeper issue. If anything else happened, I will update again. Hopefully not, but we will see again. Thank you for reading and commenting. She should never speak to her again for her own safety. Mental Woodpecker 300. This right here. Jordan destroying the house on a rampage is a huge red flag and shouldn't be overlooked. People like that don't usually stick to just objects. She could end up getting violent with Op's cousin. Oop, good morning. Jordan was the one throwing the things and made the mess in the house when my cousin tried to leave. That's why my cousin called me to come over in case it got to a point where she couldn't calm her down. After everything came out, anything we said, Jordan got more irritated, so that's why I took my cousin to my place and she has been staying with me.